and our Florida legislature for the state's support of our port and the jobs and economic impact we create. Welcome, Secretary Badenoch, and our other distinguished guests from the UK. On behalf of our board of directors, including our chair, Mr. Dan Bean, our secretary, Sue Gilvari, who are here with us today, we are proud to welcome you to JAXPort. In late October, our team visited London for our annual business development trip to meet with current and potential cargo customers to build on the momentum we are experiencing in the UK trade lane. In the past year, we have added weekly European container vessel services connecting JAXPort to ports in the UK, our first such direct connection with the UK in over a decade. These vessels move a variety of goods between our regions, including automotive parts, medical supplies, and retail products like food and beverage and home furnishings. The state's business development efforts and its continued support of port infrastructure and improvements have been vital as we continue to grow our capabilities and trade lanes. For example, the state's recent allocation of $30 million for 2 new container trains at Blunt Island helps ensure we can accommodate future volume growth. This MOU will help promote the continued success in trade between our communities, supporting economic growth, jobs, and supply chain security for Florida and the UK. Again, thank you all for your support.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Governor DeSantis, Secretary Badenoch. Good afternoon. It's great to be back in my hometown of Jacksonville. I'm sorry to our guests that we couldn't dial up a little better Florida weather for you. It feels a little bit more like London than it does Florida. But today's MOU signing is another significant step in advancing the strong and growing economic partnership between Florida and our international partners. The governor mentioned our trip around the world in April, and in October, I had the honor of leading a trade mission to Japan in which we deepened conversations about cultural and economic ties. Those talks resulted in the signing of a memorandum of cooperation similar with the one that we're going to sign today that aims to leverage our respective strengths in aerospace, infrastructure, logistics, and medicine for a better and more prosperous future. Today's event signifies a continuation of those international meetings and demonstrates that, again, Florida is an optimal partner for direct foreign investment and global trade in a variety of key sectors. As Florida's top foreign direct investor, the UK holds prominence amongst Florida's international partners. In addition to economic ties, our cultural ties, especially the ones the governor mentioned, including our language, we are 2 people separated by a common language, literature and art are highly developed. As Florida's Chief Cultural Officer, I can't overstate the importance that cultural exchange has played in developing our business relations with the UK. Our shared set of values that emphasize respect for history and traditions, courtesy, and the rule of law has made our bond unshakable. Reinforcing that bond is the relationship my office maintains with Florida's Consular Corps. I've met with UK General Rufus Drabble on several occasions, most recently at Mayport, where we welcomed the arrival of the HMS Prince of Wales, the Royal Navy's newest and largest aircraft carrier. That meeting underscores the special relationship we have with the UK and the partnership between our militaries as they defend freedom around the globe. Because of our shared interest in preserving those freedoms, Florida prioritizes increased investment in our aerospace and defense sector. Cultural assets, Florida offers a sturdy foundation from which international business can prosper. Thank you once again, Governor DeSantis, for putting Florida in a position to succeed. I look forward to our shared success and continued friendship with the UK. Thank you.
Okay, you ready? I've got 2 copies here. Let's see. And today is, what's the date? It's 15th, 16th?
for Business and Trade, Kemi Badenoch. She's somebody that we met when we were on our trade mission in the spring to London and very other parts, and we wanted to be able to forge deeper partnerships, and today that is coming to fruition. So I want to thank her. Have our Secretary of State, Cord Bird, with us, Florida Commerce Secretary Alex Kelly, and the CEO of Jacksport Authority, Eric Green. Eric, thanks for hosting us here today at Jacksport. We're excited about what you guys have been able to accomplish. So we did a trade mission this spring in a number of different spots. Part of it was I had committed to do a speech for the 75th anniversary of the founding of the modern state of Israel in Jerusalem. And so I said, we've had a lot of other offers over the years, and I said, let's see if we can knock out as much as possible. I said, I'm not doing any COVID restrictions, so if you let us land, we'll land, but we're not going to be showing any vaccines, so they made it so it was okay. So we did Japan, South Korea, Israel, and then London, in basically a week, whirlwind tour, and did it. The Japanese trip, we've already done an MOU. We're going to sign an MOU today here with the United Kingdom, but we've already done one similar with Japan as a result of that trip, and Cord Bird was actually out there working with them. So those relationships are deepening. Of course, in Israel, we did our trade mission. 2019 was the inaugural trade mission that we did as governor. Massive trade mission. I've had a lot of major successes out of that. The more recent trip is building off of that, and we're looking to forge some additional partnerships there. Of course, we did sign a memorandum when I was over there. And then, of course, here with the United Kingdom is something that's really significant. Now, Florida, if you look at us, we're ranked the #1 economy in America right now, about 50 states. We're the fastest growing state in the United States. We're yet again #1 for net in-migration when it comes to population shifts. And there's a lot of statistics you can cite, but when people vote with their feet, that's pretty powerful about who's doing well and who's doing not. And the patterns have been very, very clear for a number of years, with Florida being the #1 recipient for that. We just were ranked #1 for entrepreneurship by research at the Digital Project Manager, and we are yet again #1 in the country in new business formations with 2.6 million new businesses just in the last 5 years. So we have, of course, we have a very business-friendly climate, low taxes, no state income tax, as all of you are aware of, and I know very much appreciate. We're the second lowest per capita tax burden in the entire country. We're also the second lowest debt burden in the entire country. We have paid off almost 75% of our state debt just since I've been governor in 2019. And so we are really, really low for an economy that's 1 trillion, 1.2 trillion GDP. Our debt, what is it now, like 15 billion, 16 billion total outstanding? That is really, really good. If the federal government were able to have its debt be a fraction of its GDP, we'd be in much better shape there, I can tell you that. So we're doing it right. I think it's building off success that we've had. And these agreements here, I think, are really, really good. We have, when I was over there in South Korea, we did sign an MOU with Low Carbon Hydrogen Corp, which was good. We've also worked to expand relationships between Avenger Flight Group in Fort Lauderdale and El Al Israel Airlines for Next Generation Flight Training Center. Of course, El Al moved its American headquarters from New York City to South Florida, which was a big deal when that happened. So we also are building off our partnership with healthcare company Insight Tech for next generation cancer treatments, and that's really, really exciting. So there's a whole bunch of things that have been in the works, that are in fruition, coming to fruition, and we're excited to do that. So the United Kingdom just happens to be Florida's top foreign investor. British companies account for more than 70,000 jobs in Florida, making the United Kingdom the #1 source for international investment in Florida's entire economy, with British affiliates estimated to have 18 billion in total holdings in Florida and more than 350 companies. The UK is also Florida's 8th largest bilateral trade partner globally, #1 trade partner from Europe, 5.8 billion in 2022, and that's grown by 119% just over the last 5 years. Florida also has a strong tourism relationship with the UK. More than 1.1 million visitors from the UK to Florida in 2022, and that's the second largest group of international visitors to Florida pretty consistently. This important partnership between Florida and the UK has great potential to grow even further, and today's announcement maps out how we strengthen business ties between the two of us for the future. So today, I'm proud to build on this partnership between Florida and the UK by signing the memorandum of understanding, which we will do momentarily, to further expand trade, bilateral investment, business relationships, and academic opportunities between the UK and the United States. This historic MOU will prioritize a number of different areas, including space research and aerospace manufacturing, medical technology, financial technology, including reinsurance, supply chains and logistics, transportation, infrastructure, and then emerging areas such as artificial intelligence and semiconductors. Additionally, we'll encourage UK-based companies to expand their footprint in the Florida marketplace. We will be helping to facilitate partnerships between private sector companies with a focus on small and medium-sized businesses. Florida and the UK will also be connecting researchers, universities, and students to further support academic success and research sharing between Florida's top-in-the-nation universities and the UK's premier research institutions. And I'm proud to be signing this MOU to further investment between our state and the UK, and I'm happy to be partnering with the Secretary, who shares a similar focus on supporting small businesses. Also, just say you look at different countries. When you're in the United Kingdom, it doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. If you're an American, it's a second home for us, because if you look at how our country was birthed, all the key things that we take for granted that informed our Constitution, our view of the rule of law, that was all informed by our founding fathers being what they considered to be Englishmen, and that was something that was meaningful to them. And that's the tradition that they took to be able to set a foundation here in the United States of America. You see that when you're out there. There's a reason why we have a special relationship, and I'm proud to be able to further that relationship between the state of Florida and the United Kingdom here today. And I'd also say the Secretary and I have also done work in our own spheres on making sure that our institutions and our society are governed by sound principles and not some of the outlandish ideology that we're seeing. We're seeing some of this in some of these college campuses and other parts of this country in relation to the Hamas attacks on Israel. And you kind of just shake your head when you see some of them out there doing what they're doing, burning American flag, taking American flags down. And it's like, that's not, I think, the best of America. So we've worked really hard to found our institutions and ground them on really sound, enduring principles, and not go on ideological joyrides like we've seen in some other parts of the country. And I think it's something that's really significant, because ultimately, if the institutions get captured by ideology, they're just not going to be dependable for our society's advancement. So that being said, I want to invite up the Secretary to provide her remarks. Then we'll hear from a few other people. Then we'll make it official. Floor is yours.
This is the woman that DeSantis met with back when he went
Thank
to
you so much,
UK
Governor
on his
DeSantis,
trade
for
mission.
those remarks. Can I just say it is great to be in Jacksonville. This is a city that's built on free trade, free markets, and freedom itself. And this opportunity to sign this memorandum of understanding is a huge moment for the UK as well as Florida. So thank you to Governor DeSantis and to everyone who made this possible. We met in London on his trade mission. We had a brief conversation, and Ron, if I may call you Ron, said, right, let's do this. And this is the fastest we've ever done an MOU. We've done, this is the seventh state of the US. We've done this. It's the biggest one we've ever done, and it's the one that's been the most efficient and the fastest. And I know that that is all down to you, Governor. And I'd also like to thank Secretary of Commerce Alex Kelly and the Deputy Secretary of Economic Development, TJ Villamil, who also played instrumental roles. The UK's decision to gain independence from the EU and take back control of our trading policy is something that I know resonated with a lot of Americans. And it's that freedom that underpins, the
Yes,
deal
it did.
we are signing today.
Resonated with a lot of us.
Florida and
Brexit.
the UK are both major economic powerhouses. Governor DeSantis said so much, but he didn't mention that Florida's GDP of over £1.1 trillion, as we say, is bigger than most European countries, and the UK is the sixth biggest economy in the world. Better than anyone the power of what can be done at state level in the US. It's states like Florida, this city truly thrives. And deals like this will show what can be done when we put our shoulder to the wheel and remove barriers to doing business. So as I said, this MOU is the seventh the UK has signed with the US state and the biggest by far. And what are we signing it for? What's it going to do? It aims to boost the UK and Florida's long-established trading partnership. Governor DeSantis is right. We are the biggest foreign direct investor into Florida. It'll deepen economic cooperation and trade relations. It'll help us identify barriers to trade, and we can overcome them together. But it'll also foster business links and help unlock new investment opportunities for companies on both sides of the Atlantic. Because at the end of the day, it's not government that creates the economic growth, it's businesses. So we want to help support them.
Oh, wow, she gets it.
And this
She
is
gets
not a
it.
deal
Hear
for
that,
the short
guys?
term. It'll help us to deliver huge opportunities for cooperation in some of the most important industries of the future. And space is right at the top of that list. Florida's world-leading
Yes,
capabilities
space.
in launch infrastructure, rocket engine development, navigation, guidance systems are second to none. And the UK space industry is also on the rise. It's already worth over £17.5 billion. It employs nearly 50,000 people in the UK. So this MOU is going to help our respective industries work together, share expertise, and grow. Fintech is another industry of the future that this MOU focuses on. The UK is a world leader in fintech with expertise in many different areas. And the Florida digital lending market, to take just one example, is projected to be worth nearly $14 billion by 2027. So there's a lot of business to be done. This deal is going to help us unlock new possibilities for businesses in other industries of the future, whether it's transportation, AI, or semiconductors. I had a roundtable this morning that was absolutely fascinating, just listening to businesses in Jacksonville tell us about what they are working on and how excited they are about this MOU and the opportunities that it's going to bring them. So from connecting the globe through the World Wide Web to launching rockets to the moon, the UK and Florida are known around the world for endeavour and enterprise. I have no doubt that this MOU is going to ignite some of the ideas and collaborations that will help shape the world to come. Thank you, Governor DeSantis. Thank you, everybody.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay, thanks so much. Now we'll have hear from a couple of guests. So starting with Florida Commerce Secretary Alex Kelly.
And this is a memorandum of understanding.
Thank you
I
so
think
much,
it's different from
Governor,
a trade
and
agreement
Thank you so much,
between
Secretary.
Florida and
It really
UK.
is a great honor to be here and to really commemorate the success and the outcomes of, as Governor, you mentioned, the trip back in April and the excitement around doing an agreement then, absolutely. And really, truly, Florida and the United Kingdom have enjoyed a long-standing, highly developed ties in terms of language, culture, education, science, technology, transportation, tourism, and just overall commerce. And I'm grateful for the governor and for the secretary that this agreement will enhance those relations and really in many respects create a work plan for what we do next. As I work with the consul general, what we do next and how we carry forward. And in many ways too, this memorandum of understanding really does signify and follow the path of Governor, your blueprint, the Florida blueprint, key tenets of this memorandum of understanding. It's framed around things like workforce education, research and development through our universities, all the facets that are necessary to create ready modern infrastructure so great companies can have opportunities to site in places like Jacksonville and all throughout the state, and really financial readiness as well. Something that the governor has done and described earlier is just Florida is continually more and more financially ready to court business and industry because of the confidence, again, AAA rated state that Florida is. So Florida's financially ready, and this memorandum is really framed around that financial readiness. And as the governor mentioned some highlights about some of Florida's rankings, this blueprint has led to so many Florida accomplishments, have shown how the state really does put its foot forward. The governor mentioned a few. I'll add to that. Florida is ranked #1 in the nation in talent development. Again, #1 in the nation in higher education. number 3 in the nation in K-12 student achievement, number 1 in the nation in closing achievement gaps, the 14th largest economy in the world. If you look at GDP, larger obviously than most countries, number 1 in new business formations, 2.6 million over the last 5 years. And again, the AAA credit rating closing in on 140 million visitors a year. And this memorandum is really also framed around great partnership. Secretary, we've really appreciated working with the Consul General, working with your team. They do give me a little bit of a hard time for being a Manchester United fan, but moving beyond that, incredible partners and really grateful to work with them. And this memorandum is really framed too around a lot of the recent activity that's occurred between Florida and the UK. In July 2022, our Lieutenant Governor, Jeanette Nunes, took a delegation of 20 aerospace and aviation companies to the Farm Bureau Air Show. Right now, actually, we're working with pulp industry leaders in the UK regarding a recent mill closure in Florida and they're actually helping us trying to In 2019, Lloyd's of London opened a Miami headquarters. 1 year ago, PaySafe, a London-based fintech company, announced it will open its North American headquarters right here in Jacksonville, bringing 600 jobs to the region over the next 3 years. And earlier this year, not too far from where we're at, we were at the groundbreaking where BAE Systems is investing $200 million in capital to increase their shipbuilding and operations there. So it's no surprise, as the governor mentioned, that there are already 70,000 jobs created by British investment in Florida, and it's no wonder there's 350 British companies here with a footprint in Florida. And so it's really exciting because this kind of memorandum, it's going to really create those workflows as we work together, create those sort of that vertical alignment across the different industries that the governor mentioned, so that we can pull in great investments from those who want to invest in research and development, those who want to partner with our state, with the UK, with the exciting companies that we're all working with, really create those great vertical alignments so that we're really looking towards the future and really how we can continue all of those #1 rankings and continue to grow that partnership. So again, Governor, Secretary, thank you so much. It was great to be here today, and we just really look forward to the great work to come with your team. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor DeSantis. Speaker Paul Renner, Senate President Kathleen Pasadamo, and the entire Florida legislature for the state support of our port and the jobs and economic impact we create. Welcome, Secretary Badenoch, and our other distinguished guests from the UK. On behalf of our Board of Directors, including our Chair, Mr. Dan Bean, our Secretary, Sue Gilvari, who are here with us today, we are proud to welcome you to JAXPort. In late October, our team visited London for our annual business development trip to meet with current and potential cargo customers to build on the momentum we are experiencing in the UK trade lane. In the past year, we have added weekly European container vessel services connecting JAXPort to ports in the UK, our first such direct connection with the UK in over a decade. These vessels move a variety of goods between our regions, including automotive parts, medical supplies, and retail products like food and beverage and home furnishings. The state's business development efforts and its continued support of port infrastructure and improvements have been vital as we continue to grow our capabilities and trade lanes. For example, the state's recent allocation of $30 million for 2 new container cranes at Blunt Island helps ensure we can accommodate future volume growth. This MOU will help promote the continued success in trade between our communities, supporting economic growth, jobs, and supply chain security for Florida and the UK. Again, thank you all for your support.
Okay, thank you.
All right, there we go. Very presidential. I
Thank you,
mean,
Governor DeSantis, Secretary Badenoch.
Here's
Good
Fort
afternoon.
Byrd.
It's great to be back in my hometown of Jacksonville. I'm
Secretary
sorry to
of
our
State.
guests that we couldn't dial up a little better Florida weather for you. It feels a little bit more like London than it
Jaguars
does
lost,
Florida.
which sucks,
but today's MOU signing
Yeah,
is
it's
another
rainy here.
significant step in advancing the strong and growing economic partnership between Florida and our international partners. The governor mentioned our trip around the world in April. I had the honor of leading a trade mission to Japan in which we deepened conversations about cultural and economic ties. Those talks resulted in the signing of a memorandum of cooperation similar with the one that we're going to sign today that aims to leverage our respective strengths in aerospace, infrastructure, logistics, and medicine for a better and more prosperous future. Today's event signifies a continuation of those international meetings and demonstrates that, again, Florida is an optimal partner for direct foreign investment and global trade in a variety of key sectors. As Florida's top foreign direct investor, the UK holds prominence amongst Florida's international partners. In addition to economic ties, our cultural ties, especially the ones the governor mentioned, including our language, we are two people separated by a common language, literature and art are highly developed. As Florida's Chief Cultural Officer, I can't overstate the importance that cultural exchange has played in developing our business relations with the UK. Our shared set of values that emphasize respect for history and traditions, courtesy, and the rule of law has made our bond unshakable. Reinforcing that bond is the relationship my office maintains with Florida's Consular Corps. I've met with UK General Rufus Drabble on several occasions, most recently at Mayport, where we welcomed the arrival of the HMS Prince of Wales, the Royal Navy's newest and largest aircraft carrier. That meeting underscores the special relationship we have with the UK and the partnership between our militaries as they defend freedom around the globe. Because of our shared interest in preserving those freedoms, Florida prioritizes increased investment in our aerospace and defense sectors. With a skilled workforce and established infrastructure, Florida offers advantages that no other state can. Thanks to Governor DeSantis' pro-business and pro-growth policies, the time to invest in Florida has never been better. With mutually beneficial business relationships, an expanding economy, cultural assets, Florida offers a sturdy foundation from which international business can prosper. Thank you once again, Governor DeSantis, for putting Florida in a position to succeed. I look forward to our shared success and continued friendship with the UK. Thank you.
Okay.
time to put the country in a position to succeed. Time to put the country in that position. All right, let's go. Let's sign it. I've seen him do this so many times, and he just does such a damn good job at this.
2 copies here.
Now Florida's got a memorandum of understanding with the United Kingdom for trade.
And today is, what's the date? It's
He never knows what date it is either. He's like, what's the date? Okay, and I think it went out right there, and then it came back. And I think he took some questions here. All right. Yeah, it came back on right around the time he was signing it. And
Woods of London.
Couldn't dial up a
okay,
little better.
already did that. Oh, okay. It looks like, all right, it looks like that was it. I thought there was a little something afterwards. I thought the video cut out and then there was a little something afterwards. But there you go. And there we go with this memorandum of understanding between the United Kingdom and Florida. And here again is Ron DeSantis doing the job of the president and showing you exactly what he's going to be like as president. That's him. That's what he's going to do. Okay? And everybody melts down when he does stuff like this. Oh my goodness, he can't do that. Do you notice with the Trump people, there's a lot of, oh, he can't do that. Oh, Trump couldn't do that. Oh, you're not allowed to fire a bureaucrat. Oh, you can't do this. I mean, they sound like libs, making excuses for everything. DeSantis does it, and he gets his legal ducks in a row before he does it. So if DeSantis does something, you know he can do it. There, he just did it. Now, I'll get and all media will get a kind of a little brief of what happened today and what this means and what this memo of understanding will do between the United Kingdom and Florida. But it's going to do good things. And you heard that lady that spoke, and she was the lady that spoke All right. The lady that spoke was UK Secretary of State for Business and Trade, Kemi. Ron DeSantis did a trade mission over to UK, over to Japan, over to South Korea in the spring, and then he stopped in Israel. The Trump people went nuts over this. How is he able to do this? This is illegal. Why is he in Israel? And by the way, there's a lot of Trump people that are really against Israel and very anti-Jewish, okay? There are a lot. The Groypers, all these people, they're very anti-Israel. Candace Owens finally got called out by Ben Shapiro. I'm glad to see these guys getting called out more and more because these are Trump's guys, okay? And DeSantis did this trade mission, and it was the Trump sycophants on Twitter like Laura Loomer who are just going after him for this. Like, how dare he do this? He's not allowed to do this. Why doesn't he just be governor? Why doesn't he's the worst asshole governor we've ever seen, but why doesn't he just come back here and govern? It's like, okay, if he's the worst guy ever, why do you want him back here to govern so bad? Duh. And why are you living in Florida too? If DeSantis is so horrible, why don't you move out of the state? But you're not. You stay here because you like it here because it's good here under DeSantis, and we can make the rest of the country like that, okay? But the Trump people all went nuts about how he can't do these things. And well, he did them, and he's doing them. So there we go, and there's the diplomacy. Do you see how he gets along with people? Do you see how Ron DeSantis knows how to get along with people and how to make partnerships? And this is just more of a preview of what he will be doing as president. Making agreements with people around the world, knowing who the enemies are, knowing who the friends are, not attacking our friends. Trump does this all the time. He attacks allies just for petty reasons because they insulted him somehow or they said the election wasn't stolen or something. Then he goes on tirades against them. Look, this is something that I've learned just from my own experience. When I and then need them or want to partner with them for something down the road, don't expect them to all be like, oh, yay, I want to partner with that guy. You know, and people might like America, but they don't like Trump. So why would they want to partner with him when he's insulting them all the time? Ron DeSantis knows how to get along with people. Do you see? So in other news, let's just go down it. Coming to you from my truck office today. Nikki Haley, okay? She has this position, all right? Ryan James Grudusky shared this. Nikki Haley has this position that is pretty much similar to Trump's from what we hear. From what Ken Cuccinelli was saying, that we allow hotels like Hilton that employ a lot of the people that are guest workers in this country that don't have to pay Social Security or Medicare taxes. So they end up hiring people that aren't Americans to do these jobs. Nikki Haley is clearly in the pockets of these big hotel chains and stuff. Listen to what she says about immigration and what she wants. This is corporate donors speaking right here, okay? Listen.
When it comes to legal immigration, it's a broken system. It shouldn't take someone 10 years to become a citizen. So,
Clap, everybody. Look at that guy there with the handlebar
but what we need
mustache,
to do is
rolling his eyes.
So for too long, Republican and Democrat presidents
dealt with immigration
based on a quota. We'll
We'll
take X number this year, we'll take X number next year. The debate is on the number. It's the wrong way to look at it. We need to do it based on merit. We need to go to our industries and say, what do you need that you don't have? So think agriculture, think tourism, think tech. We want the talent that's going to make us better. Then you bring people in that can fill those needs.
You go, okay, so look what she's saying here. Look what Haley is saying here. What she's saying is we want to bring in more people to take American jobs. Because what you got to understand with this is that the people that she's talking about bringing, if they're on work, what they're going to do is they don't get Social Security or Medicare tax. So she's saying, and she's speaking on behalf of her corporate donors, which are massive hotel chains, which, by the way, this is the same position Trump had. And and saying that, oh, well, we don't want to mess with these guys because they're getting cheap labor from other countries, than taking American jobs. This is the classic big donor position right here, okay? This is not what we want in America. All right? Haley is the establishment candidate, the candidate beholden to big donors that all of the Trump sycophants were saying DeSantis was, which he's not, okay? All right. Oh, here we got Chinese workers work with passion and urgency. Like there's no time to waste. That's what Haley said before when she was South Carolina governor. Yeah. Do we want it like China over here with working conditions? Do you really want it to be like that? They have to put nets under their buildings in China so people don't commit suicide. All right. Is that what we want? Do we want to turn America into China? Oh, they're so efficient though. Oh, yeah, yeah. All right, so some other things that are good today. Oh yeah, Roger Stone says our last great president, Ronald Reagan, and then he deletes it. Oh no, wait. Oh whoops. I mean that's Donald Trump. Let me tell you something with Roger Stone. Okay, Roger knows Trump very well. Okay, he knows Trump is a lying sack of crap. Okay, he knows this very well. There's plenty of videos of him out there talking about what a piece of crap Trump is, okay? But he knows he's got to keep up this facade when he gets in front of these audiences at Turning Point USA and stuff, and he's got to keep touting the line. Because everybody knows what happens when you don't tout the line anymore in Trump land. You're out. You're on the outside now. You're out. He goes, oh, but I owe Trump my life for his pardon. Yeah, well, Roger, who got you into that trouble to begin with, all right? And who had you sweating until the very end, and God knows what you had to do to get that pardon. I mean, it's not like things come cheap in Trump land, all right? And it's not like he does things out of the goodness of his heart. Trump has zero loyalty towards the people that are loyal to him. But no, Roger meant this. And this is why I like Roger, and he's good, and he's a nice, charming guy who says the truth a lot of times, and he knows the truth, okay? And it all comes out. Sometimes it comes out. But then he does this thing where, oh, no, and then he walks it back, and then comes on the pitch, man, to talk about how great Trump is and how Trump saved his life. No, Roger Stone knows that Ronald Reagan was the last great president. Trump was not. This was Roger telling the truth. And then he got called out on it. Oh, whoops, you told the truth. Trump sucks. Oh, got to delete it. But there you go. That's Roger. Jenna Ellis is 100% telling the truth. Jenna's telling the truth. Sidney Powell's telling the truth. They have absolutely no reason to lie. This is true from Pedro Gonzalez. Team Trump has proven they support political persecution for people who leave the cult, like Jenna Ellis. They support doxing, canceling, firing. Yeah, if the Trump people haven't showed you, they're just like the left. They're a bunch of online thugs who try to dox you, who try to ruin you, who come after you, who, if you leave their cult, then they try to attack you. True Social's in the toilet. Ha. There you go. If there's ever a conflict between your faith and the left's agenda, they expect you to bend a knee. That's not religious liberty as our founders understood it. That's a battle that we have to win. Ron DeSantis, fighting for religious liberty. The only one doing that. Oh, here's Pink chiming in. Pink, who hasn't put out a good song in God knows how long, claiming that To Kill a Mockingbird was banned in Florida. This is an absolute lie, okay? And where is it community noted? It's an absolute lie. It's actually on the list of standards to read, okay? These were not banned. I mean, Pink is still doing concerts. And she does these ads for Pfizer and stuff like that, but no, she's lying here because these lies go around. Pornographic materials banned in classrooms. No books are banned in Florida. All they did was take out these disgusting, inappropriate books and these books that promoted racial nonsense and from libraries, okay? And Ron DeSantis debunked this. This is the book banning myth, okay?
Could face up to 5 years in prison. You heard that right. 5 years in prison for handing a child a book.
The law requires books to be free from pornography, instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity in kindergarten through 3rd grade, and discrimination in a way that an individual by virtue of his or her race, color, sex, or national origin is inherently racist or oppressive.
Okay, now watch this. Viewer discretion is advised. This is the crap that they found. They're pushing in a worldview that sex is disgusting and it's forced on women.
Mike Curato was found in Broward, Collier, Hillsborough, Marion, Seminole, and Volusia County schools. The camp the boys go to in the book has an island that the book says looks like a frying pan, but we're all certain it looks like a ball. It also contains a shower scene with a group of boys where a young man gets an erection. Another where a boy watches porn and asks, why is there so much hair? While noting that those are so big. And if none of this causes you to pause, there's another section where a group of boys masturbate together and are pressured to ejaculate into a bottle.
And look, this is important to point out, because you can say that, you can say that this is the kind of stuff that kids can find on their phones now. The kids can find the same disgusting stuff that adults can find on the internet. So why is this important to not have this in the classroom? And phones really shouldn't be allowed in school anyway. And parents need to take action on that. If I have kids, I'm never going to let them have a phone until much later in life. All right, for multiple reasons. But the reason why this is important is, you see, this is a viewpoint that's being pushed, and they're trying to get kids, especially young boys, to think about doing sexual things with each other, and possibly adults too. That's what they're trying to do. That's called grooming, by the way. Okay, they're trying to, because when you put it in a school, then you are putting your stamp of approval on it. You see what I'm saying? You're saying this is okay and this is normal. That's what you're doing. If they're finding it on their own in a magazine, which when I was a kid, it was a magazine, now it's on a phone, then it's different. But if it's in the school, you're putting your stamp of approval on it and saying this is normal. This is what grooming is. And this is what...
Let's Talk About It by Erica Moen and Matthew Nolan was found in a Broward County school and contains graphic depictions of how to masturbate for males and females, while also a entire section for anal sex, with an encouragement to use a butt plug. Even more startling is the guide on how to sext for children, encouraging them to send photos that don't include your face, hide your birthmarks and scars, and edit out your piercings and tattoos. Books
They're
by Ruby
teaching
Kaur,
kids how
such
to sext with each other, all right? And again, it's not like they can't find this stuff on their own, but when you put this in schools, then you are putting your stamp of approval on it, all right? You're telling kids that this is all good. It's all good to sext. This is how you do it. This is how you hide birthmarks. This is what you do, all right?
as Homebody, Milk and Honey, and The Sun in Her Flowers have been found in 15 schools. Homebody says masturbation is meditation and speaks about how the writer wants someone to look me in the eyes when you're down there eating for your life. These books are clearly not just conversation starters about the birds and the bees. They are pushing an agenda. Genderqueer was found in Orange, St. Lucie, and Hillsborough County schools and is a graphic novel depicting masturbation and encouraging trans surgery by equating the scars from top surgery, the cutting off of females' breasts,
Look at this crap.
with a tattoo.
Look at this crap. You can't discuss them in school board meetings. They'll shut you down. They'll shut your mic off. That's what is banned in Florida schools, okay? To Kill a Mockingbird is not banned. This is the crap that DeSantis took out, okay? Those were in the libraries. I saw them for myself. Those were in the Broward libraries. We found them.
Let me ask you, what does Governor Ron DeSantis not know about Black history and the Black experience when he says that slavery and the aftermath of slavery should not be taught to Florida school children?
I don't know what he knows and what he doesn't know, but I know this.
Their concerns with the current syllabus for a new advanced placement course for Florida's high schoolers called AP African American Studies. The state education board citing issue with 6 topics in the syllabus, including coursework on the reparations movement, Black queer studies, and movements for Black lives. A spokesperson for Governor Ron DeSantis says the course was rejected because it, quote, lacks educational value and historical accuracy.
Black queer studies? What the hell is that? Oh, you're talking about Black queer studies? Oh, no. What does that have to do with slavery? What does Black queer studies have to do with anything? What is that? Trying to feminize Black men is what they're doing. I mean, they've been trying to do that for a while.
The latest to be pulled for review, a book about baseball legend Roberto Clemente. A passage in Roberto Clemente, Pride of the Pittsburgh Pirates, references the racism he faced in the U.S.
A is for activist, where L is for LGBTQ, T and Z is Zapatista, a far-left Mexican terrorist group. This book was found in 6 school districts: Broward, Hillsborough, Orange, Lake, Pinellas, and Monroe.
Listen, I'm going to say this one more time. Elements of critical race theory are not taught to 5-year-olds. It's not taught to 8-year-olds. It's not taught to 10-year-olds.
Not My Idea, a book about whiteness,
You're a liar,
which was
Woody.
found in elementary schools in Orange, Lake, Hillsborough, and Broward counties. We will not teach that racism is a white person's problem. We will teach that it is a problem for all to tackle. We will not inject it to a young child's mind that the contract binding you to whiteness will get you stolen land, stolen riches, and special favors.
So there you go. That's what Governor DeSantis' office put out. That's the video they put out. And the video itself got censored, showing that no pink. That's the crap that was taken out of schools. There weren't books that were banned. Okay, number one, you can get these books anywhere as an adult, but that stuff is pushing ideology. And the important thing is to know that when it's taught in schools and it's available in schools, and they're telling kids they're putting those books on reading lists, because what they do is they put those books on reading lists, and then the kids go and read them, and that is an authority figure putting a stamp of approval on that stuff. Okay, so Pink is actually lying about this. To Kill a Mockingbird, Catcher in the Rye. These books, The Diary of Anne Frank, were not banned in Florida, okay? That is a lie. She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. All right, so are you for pornography given to kids and this crap? That's what it really is, and they are. These gross celebrities are promoting that kind of stuff. They're for that. And here's the new Speaker of the House. All right, here we go.
I'm all in for President Trump. I think I expect he'll be our nominee. Yeah, and he's going to win it, and we have to make Biden a one-term president.
There you go. There's your new speaker there, the great Christian who is endorsing the guy with 91 criminal charges and who took the party down to levels we've never been at before. And that's what you expect. But guess what? Ron DeSantis getting endorsements from New Hampshire. These are the people that endorse DeSantis are on a grassroots level, okay? State representative, county GOP chair, town councilor, city councilor, school board members, city commissioner. These are people that are close to the people that are endorsing DeSantis. The swampy the swampy congressmen are endorsing Trump, but it's people that are close to the ground, that are close to the people that are endorsing DeSantis. So DeSantis just picked up a whole bunch of New Hampshire endorsements, 18 additional New Hampshire 57 endorsements in South Carolina. He just picked up endorsements from state representatives, county commissioners, school board members. This is grassroots. These are people that are close to the people. I don't care about an endorsement from a congressman. I don't care about an endorsement from Matt Gaetz. These guys, especially the Congressional Celebrity Caucus, they don't represent me. They're in Washington all the time. They're not at home. These are the people that are at home. We're seeing a populist movement with DeSantis. Okay? Look, To Kill a Mockingbird is on Florida's best standards list. Anne Frank's Diary is on the same page. Pink, you're lying or you got bad information. Those books are not, they're not banned, much less taken out of the classroom. So stop it. You're wrong. Man, O.J. Simpson ain't looking so good today. Because this time of year, all the vaccine-crazed people are taking their COVID boosters and they're taking a flu shot. That's why they're all looking like this. That's why you're hearing of people die. There you go, guys. And Ron DeSantis is, they're doing a trade agreement. And let me see if they sent out the email yet. Talking about, I haven't gotten the email yet because they'll send out an email doing a recap today of but that was a culmination of work. He went over to the UK earlier this year and came back with a trade agreement. And that's what you're going to see with DeSantis as president. With DeSantis as president, it's going to be so exciting. There's going to be exciting stuff happening all the time. There's going to be victories. The United States is going to be getting along with people. We're going to be elevated in the world again. Our enemies in China and these countries like that, they're going to have their influence diminished. We're not going to be having special arrangements with them, special trade status, all that crap with the CCP and stuff. We're going to have trade with people like UK. And when people in UK and these other countries see the leadership that Ron DeSantis is doing, they gravitate towards it. People gravitate towards Ron DeSantis. He's like a guy you want to follow. You see how he has victories and how he's on top of things and he takes things seriously. He's not out to lunch one day. He's not confusing if Obama's president or if Biden's president. He's a guy you want to get behind. So that's what we got. This is Chris Nelson. Please like and share this around. And thanks for watching. I got some writing to do now.